Good morning, everybody. It is December 25th, Christmas. It's 2022. It's 1:24 in the morning. You can see that. Okay, this video is going to be the second part of the number 32, the verses that have the number 32, starting in Matthew. And I'm reading out of the New Century Version Daily Devotional Bible. Revolve Daily Devotional Bible. Okay, so the next chapter in Matthew is chapter 13. Matthew chapter 13, verse 32. This section is called Stories of Mustard Seed and Yeast. That seed is the smallest of all seeds, but when it grows, it is one of the largest garden plants. It becomes big enough for the wild birds to come and build nests in its branches. Okay, next chapter, Matthew chapter 14, verse 32. After they got into the boat, the wind became calm. Next chapter, chapter 15. Oh, I forgot to say, chapter 14, that section's called Jesus Walks on the Water. Chapter 15, verse 32, Matthew. Jesus called his followers to him and said, I feel sorry for these people because they have already been with me 3 days and they have nothing to eat. I don't want to send them away hungry. They might faint while going home. This section is called More Than 4,000 Fed. There's the number 4 again. The dream with the number 4. Okay, so next chapter, verse, chapter, 18, Matthew chapter 18, verse 32. Then the master called his servant in and said, You evil servant, because you begged me to forget what you owed, I told you that you did not have to pay anything. And that section is called An Unforgiving Servant. Next chapter, chapter 20, Matthew chapter 20, verse 32. Jesus stopped and said to the blind men, What do you want me to do for you? This section's called Jesus Heals 2 Blind Men. Next chapter, chapter 21. This section's called A Story About 2 Sons. Verse 32, John came to show you the right way to live. You did not believe him, but the tax collectors and prostitutes believed him. Even after seeing this, you still refuse to change your ways and believe him. Next chapter, chapter 22. This section is called Some Sadducees Try to Trick Jesus. Matthew chapter 22, verse 32. God said, I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. God is the God of the living, not the dead. Next chapter, chapter 23, Matthew 23, verse 32. And you will complete the sin that your ancestors started. Next chapter, chapter 24, Matthew chapter 24, verse 32. Learn a lesson from the fig tree. When its branches become green and soft and new leaves appear, you know summer is near. Next chapter, Matthew chapter 25, verse 32. This section is called The King Will Judge All People. All the nations of the world will be gathered before him, and he will separate them into two groups, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. Next chapter, chapter 26. This section is called The Lord's Supper. Oh, that's not. This section is called Jesus' Followers Will Leave Him. Matthew chapter 26, verse 32. But after I rise from the dead, I will go ahead of you into Galilee. Zechariah. Well, that's for 31. Okay. So the next chapter, chapter 27, Matthew chapter 27, verse 32. This section's called Jesus is Crucified. As the soldiers were going out of the city with Jesus, they forced a man from Cyrene named Simon to carry the cross for Jesus. Oh, it was Simon. I thought it was Peter. It was Simon. Okay, next chapter. Oh, that's all the chapters. Okay, that's all the chapters. Okay, so this was the verses 32 in the book of Matthew. Merry Christmas, everybody, and thank you for watching.